Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to our next math lesson. Before we begin, please make sure that you have your math textbook, connecting cubes, pencil, and an eraser. Okay? So let's get started. Okay, so today's lesson, we are going to subtract from the numbers 6 and 7. So yes, this lesson is very similar to yesterday's lesson. However, now we're going to be working with subtracting from the numbers 6 and 7. Okay. And our essential question, how do you subtract numbers? And that will also be a question that we will certainly be able to start answering more and more. Okay. Let's do a little warm up. All right, so Raj needs 2 eggs to make cookies for the bake sale. Sarah needs 3 eggs to make a cake. There are only 2 eggs in the refrigerator. How many eggs do they need to buy at the store? Well, one of the ways that we could work it is we could show Raj's 2 eggs, that he needs 2 eggs, and we could see that Sarah needs 3 eggs. Very bad looking eggs, I admit it. Okay, but there are only 2 eggs in the refrigerator. So we're just going to X off the 2 that are already in the refrigerator. Okay. Oops. How many eggs do we need to buy? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we need to buy 3 eggs. All right. I don't know why that did that. Okay, let's go to the next slide here. Okay. They want us to describe how to use objects to subtract from 7. Okay, so I would like you to tell someone at home, how would you show how to subtract from 7 using some objects? Okay, so if there's no one sitting with you right now, just talk out loud. What would you do? Okay, so yes, I would start with 7 first. So here's 5, 6, 7. Let me double check to make sure I have the correct number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oop, good thing I checked. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I do have 7. Okay, so I would begin with 7, and then however many I need to take away, whatever that number is, I would just take it away. Okay. If it were, let's say, double, if I had two colors, I could turn over the color that I'm taking away. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that, which is kind of neat when you're subtracting. All right, so now I would say turn to your next lesson page, which is page 100 and let's see, 159. Okay, I thought that's what it was, but I wanted to say it correctly for all of you. So 159, and you can open to that page and oh, look at that. There's a cute little banana there looking at you. All right, so they're going to talk about how they have 7 gorillas eating bananas. Okay, so there's 7. Use your cubes. Let's take some cubes here. And there are 7 gorillas eating bananas. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now they would like you to trace those. So pause now and trace them so that we'll have them on your paper. Okay? Okay. They say apes. I said gorillas. I know they're different, but okay. All right. So now 3 of them stop eating. okay? 3 of them stop eating. So I'm going to draw X's over the 3 that stop eating bananas. How many of the apes are still eating bananas? 1, 2, 3, 4. Write the number on the line. 4 apes. Okay. All right, boys and girls. So I would like you now to turn to your See and Show page. And as you can see, this is very similar to what we did yesterday, but I'm still going to talk you through it because it's with different numbers, okay? And just listen to what I'm saying while we're going over this. So it says you can subtract from the numbers 6 and 7. So up here at the top, they showed subtract 3 from 6, okay? And the difference, remember what that word difference is? That's right, it's the answer to your subtraction number sentence. And then subtract 5 from 7, and the difference is 2. All right, so here for the first 6 subtraction sentences at the bottom of your See and Show page, it says start with 6 cubes, subtract some cubes, write different ways to subtract from 6. Okay, so once again, you are going to start with 6. I suggest that you make sure that you have 6, because remember what I just did? I thought I didn't have enough. Good thing I recounted. So make sure you have only 6, and then take some away, write what ways, what ones you're taking away, and then your difference. And you're going to do that 6 times. 6 different subtraction number sentences. Okay? And then when you're done, you can continue to On My Own. All right. So On My Own. Okay, before we go to On My Own, it says, how can you use the cubes to show subtraction? And as we said, you can pull them off. Some kids like to turn them. The only problem with that is sometimes you might forget, which one is the one you're subtracting. So pulling them off is usually a good way because you're actually taking them off, subtracting them from the row. Okay, here's On Your Own, and you're going to start with 7. Make sure you have 7 cubes and show different ways to subtract from 7. And then when you're done, you can continue on to the bottom. Okay, now On My Own, they suggest you use your work mat number 3 and the cubes. The reason they do that, if you notice, number 13 and 14, or I'm sorry, 13 is a regular one where it shows the difference. 14, 15, and 16 are showing the missing number, okay? So they want you to figure out what was taken away from 6 to get the difference of 4, and then they do it here as well. If you can do it just with the cubes, that's certainly okay, all right? And then when you're done doing up to through 19, you can go to the next slide and I will show you the answers. But in the meantime, I think you should pause now and do the best you can to solve these and then come back to check your answers. Pause now. Okay, so let's talk about, because I know it's been a couple of lessons since we have found the missing number, but let's look at this one. 6 minus 2 equals 4. Okay, well, here's one way you can do this. Here's 6 cubes, which I've already said before. We know that the answer, the difference, is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what was left. I took away the 4 because I knew that's what I needed to have left. How many did I take away? Well, here's what's in my hand. 1, 2. And there's your answer using the cubes. Okay? And if you need to pause to keep checking, or if you need to make a correction, certainly do that. All right, problem solving. Write a subtraction number sentence to solve. 7 rhinos get a drink from a pond. 3 of them stop drinking. How many rhinos are still drinking? Pause and solve. Seven minus 3 who stopped drinking, and there are 4 rhinos still drinking. 21. Write a subtraction number sentence to solve. 7 deer are walking in a field. 5 deer lie down. How many deer are still walking? Pause and solve. 7 deer are still walking, minus 5 lie down, and 2 deer are still walking. Okay. Here is our right math. All right, remember, I always say the best thing to do is always listen to what the question is first. What happens to the number of objects in a group when they are subtracted? Explain. Well, let's think about that. What happens? I'm going to have a group of numbers. I take some away. What happens to my group? Think about that. Well, let's, the number of objects, typo, of objects, and I typed wrong again, of objects in the group gets, what do you think? Smaller. You're right. That's what happens when you subtract. The number gets smaller. All right, boys and girls, another great math lesson. Do the next page in your math warm-up book, and see you soon. Bye.